She walked into the charity gala draped in elegance, unaware that the next few minutes would shatter the room's polished silence. Cameras flashed, glasses clinked, and then an audible gasp. In the middle of the ballroom, a woman's hand struck across the face of the billionaire's black wife. The room froze. Whispers swelled. Phones lifted and eyes locked on the victim's stunned expression. But what looked like a personal insult was about to unravel into something far darker. What could drive someone to such public cruelty? Watch until the end. Wait a second. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. Amara Daniels had built her life from the ground up. The daughter of educators, she grew up believing that dignity and hard work could overcome any obstacle. Years later, she had become a philanthropist, businesswoman, and the beloved wife of Marcus Daniels, a billionaire known for funding schools across underserved communities. That evening's gala was their creation, a fundraising event to provide scholarships for minority students. The venue sparkled, alive with political leaders, celebrities, and executives. Amara glided through the crowd in a deep emerald gown, greeting guests warmly. She was no stranger to subtle prejudice, the kind masked behind polite smiles, but she refused to let it define her. Tonight was about hope, opportunity, and unity. Yet somewhere in that glittering crowd, resentment was quietly taking shape, one that would turn celebration into humiliation before the night was over. The tension began almost invisibly. Across the ballroom, a woman in a silver dress, Vivian Hart, watched Amara with narrowed eyes. Vivian was the wife of a powerful real estate mogul whose projects had faced backlash for displacing black families. She had a history of veiled remarks, but Amara had always kept her distance. As the auction began, Amara stepped to the stage to thank donors. Her voice carried warmth, her words drawing applause. When she descended, she stopped at a table to greet familiar faces, unaware Vivian was approaching. Vivian's tone was icy. "Interesting how you've made this all about yourself," she said, loud enough for nearby guests to hear. Amara kept her composure, replying with a polite smile. But Vivian stepped closer, her words sharper, layered with racial undertones disguised as observations. The crowd sensed something brewing, their conversations dimming to a hush. Then, without warning, Vivian's hand lashed out, striking Amara across the cheek. Gasps erupted. The room seemed to collapse into stunned silence. Marcus pushed through. The crowd, his face a mask of disbelief and anger. Cameras were already capturing the scene. Vivian's husband stood frozen, his expression unreadable. For Amara, the sting on her skin was nothing compared to the deeper wound, the public reminder that no level of success, grace, or achievement could shield her from being reduced to a stereotype in the eyes of some. And yet, the night's most shocking moment was still to come. Security moved in, but Marcus raised a hand. He wanted the truth heard. Amara, still steady, turned to the audience and spoke. "This gala was about breaking barriers. What you've just seen is why those barriers still stand." Her words echoed through the hushed room. Reporters scribbled, phones recorded, and guests shifted uncomfortably. Vivian's face paled as the weight of the moment hit her. This was no longer just a private outburst. This was a public reckoning. A wave of murmurs spread, not of gossip, but of outrage. The incident would not fade quietly into the night. It was already spilling beyond those walls. Vivian, once so sure of her power, now stood in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons, and she was about to beg for forgiveness she might never truly receive. In the days that followed, footage of the slap went viral, sparking debates on racial bias, privilege, and the subtle ways prejudice thrives in elite spaces. Vivian issued a tearful public apology, but many saw it as damage control, not remorse. Amara, meanwhile, received overwhelming support. her grace under pressure, inspiring thousands. She continued her work, now speaking openly about the realities of racial injustice, even among the wealthy. The slap had been an insult, but it had also been a mirror, reflecting uncomfortable truths. For Amara, the moment became a catalyst for more profound change. For Vivienne, it became a lifelong stain. The question remains, how many more public incidents will it take before society confronts the prejudice it prefers to hide? Which country and city are you watching from? Take care